And joining us in studio right now, it is a pleasure to have College Football Hall of Famer and Pro Football Hall of Famer Fran Tarkenton in studio with us. Of course, former New York Giant, as well as the Minnesota Vikings. And just got to make sure the microphone is there. So, good morning, Fran. How are you? Nice to have you with us.
Oh, I'm glad to be back in the big city. I love playing here.
Yeah.
We didn't have very good teams back then.
Well, we don't have them either right now.
No, you don't have them
No.
either now.
It was
but I love being here and playing in here, and I come back every year and a couple of weeks a year. So I'm glad to be back again.
So you were my dad's quarterback because I grew up here.
Yep.
I think you were here 67, 68,
Yep.
right? 69 when the Jets won the Super Bowl, right?
That's right.
So you were the quarterback of his team, and you guys are pretty middling, pretty average.
We were worse than that. We had a couple of good years, but we had no players. No.
Who was your coach?
Allie Sherman, who was the sweetest guy that ever lived.
Okay.
I loved Allie Sherman. And then after Allie, they used to say, "Goodbye, Allie, goodbye." And
Not much has changed
and
since
they
you left.
fired him, and they put Alex Webster,
Yep.
who was a really good running back, and everybody in New York. But he wasn't a coach. But he was a sweetheart guy, too. So it was a tough time there for the New York Giant fandom.
You know, it was amazing. I was looking back at your career. So you started with the Minnesota Vikings in 61.
That's right.
61, 62, and 63. You had losing records. You threw a lot of interceptions.
Yep.
If that were happening today, like it has happened for some young quarterbacks over the last 10 years, do you think you could have lasted with those numbers? And
Yeah. I'll tell you why. We were a new franchise team. What does that mean? 61, the Vikings paid $300,000 to get the team, and we got to pick every team in the league frozen 34 of their 40 players. So we got to pick 3 of the bottom 6. The Cowboys came in the year before us, and they didn't win a game with Tom Landry and Bob Lilly and Don Meredith and all that group. We came in and we played our first game. We were 28-point underdogs to the Chicago Bears, whose owner started the National Football League. He was their coach, their general manager, and he cheated. He got all the good players, and so that's okay. And so we played them in the opening game, and we beat them 37-13. And I completed 17 of 21 passes for 237 yards. I threw for 4 touchdowns and ran for another, and so we won 3 games that year. And then Van Brocklin was the coach, so I'm still there for another 5 years. He was about the worst human being I've ever known. And so I said, "How I get to New York?
I got to get the hell out of here.
I'm not going to play here." And so the owners called me. "We fired Van Brocklin. We want you to stay here in Minnesota." I said, "Nope, not going to have." So I came to New York, and they gave up. They were 112-1.
When you got here.
When I got here. And Earl Morrow was their quarterback, and he was a really good quarterback. He was there. They're 112-1, and they gave up 3 number 1 draft choices and 2 number 2 to get me. We didn't have any players.
Yeah, but John, I'm looking at this. You went 7-7, 7-7, 6-8,
Yeah.
9-5. I mean, you actually had decent seasons.
I played my best football here.
Yeah.
Because I was 26 years old. When I got back to Minnesota, I asked Wellington Mayor, after I've been here for 5 or 6 years, I says, "Mr. Mayor, I'm 31 years old. I've had no chance to be on a championship team. You need more players, more this, more that, more that." And he said, "You don't want to play for the New York Giants?" I said, "I love the New York Giants. I love playing in New York, but you need people. Maybe you get something for me." And that's how I got back to Minnesota, and Bud Grant was there. We won.
And that's when you go to the Super Bowls.
I go 3 Super Bowls in, 5 years?
Yeah.
We won the division 6 years in a row. But we had something. We had players.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it takes.
You know,
it takes players.
we had coaches. After I got out, coaches make a difference. Look at the guy at Chicago. He was the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions for 2 years, and the quarterback in Detroit, who used to play at L.A., really a good player.
Jared Goff really stepped up his game with him.
He stepped up his game because he was in the right system. Now he goes up, he's the head coach of Chicago, and they've done nothing, and that quarterback they got
Cal
from Southern
Williams,
Cal,
yep.
and he's got big talent, but he didn't know how to play. This year they're in first place in a tough division, right? And the quarterback's playing much better because the coach puts him in the right place. And
you could say the same thing about Drake May in New England.
Yes.
With the way that they bring in Mike Vrabel as a head coach, but they get Josh McDaniels, who was Tom Brady's offensive coordinator. They bring him back, and now all of a sudden he's in that same system.
Yeah.
And he's learning how to win. Because that's what you got to learn. We're talking to the great Fran Tarkenton, who I could talk to for hours and hours and hours.
Yes, and we have a bunch of time with him, so we're excited about that. And Fran is changing the AI game for small and medium-sized businesses with the introduction of Pip IQ, a private generative AI workspace that protects companies from data leaks and shadow AI. We'll ask him more questions about that coming up in a little bit. You ran into 3 all-time teams in those Super Bowls, though. You really did. You end up, to the Dolphins, the Steel Curtain after that, and then the John Madden Raiders team that won in there too. What were your?
And that wasn't the reason we lost.
It was because you didn't feel like you played well enough.
The reason we lost is back in those days there was a 2-week of from your last game to win a championship to the Super Bowl, and we went back home. Bud Grant, my great friend and great coach, said, "Go back home. Come back and be here Sunday. We'll fly down to the." We didn't practice, and I've talked to other quarterbacks that played in Super Bowls. I didn't talk to you, but they practiced that week, and it was a hard practice. And we didn't do anything. And in those years, I put in the offense. Those 3 games, I didn't put in the offense because they put it in when I was back in Atlanta, Georgia. We didn't come close to winning a Super Bowl.
That is crazy to me.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
We didn't. Every team we lost to, we had beaten the years before, years after. We had no chance because we weren't ready. We weren't prepared. It's like going into your classroom in high school or college and you haven't looked at the book.
Yeah, but like by the 3rd time, though.
You would have thought. But we did the same thing the 3rd time. We did the same. And my guy, Bud Grant, was different from everybody else. He didn't do the thing. He was just different than everybody else. And he was a great coach and a great guy. And I never told this story because he died 2 years ago, so he won't hear it. We had no chance.
Yeah, wow, that is unbelievable.
It's amazing. For our Super Bowl, it was Super Bowl 23. That week prior, the entire game plan was put in, and we practiced hard for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I believe.
Yep.
Friday was a normal, Saturday was the normal walkthrough. Then we flew down to Miami and then just reviewed the whole entire week.
Yeah. Well, as you know, when you go down to the Super Bowl itself, it's a zoo, right?
It is,
You can't put in your offense down there. That's why you got to put it in before. And again, I put in the passing game. But I couldn't put it in the passing game because
that is nuts.
Because I was home and playing golf in Atlanta that week.
It's amazing. You were calling your own plays.
Yes, back in that era.
Yes,
we called our own plays, and I love that because it gave me a little more, And so Jerry Burns was our offensive coordinator. He was great, and so we'd get in the room on Monday and he said, I said, I can't do that. It just doesn't feel good. If it doesn't feel good, you don't do it. And so, but we had those conversations. He was my best friend. But, you got to be in the right system or have the right system. If you don't, you cannot play.
So it was before my time, those Super Bowls, but in New York, I did grow up a Minnesota Vikings fan. So I've been through it. I have a Vikings tattoo on my arm.
The purple people eaters.
Yeah. So John Randall was my guy.
Yeah, that's who after me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but do you think that the team and the franchise has lost an edge playing inside all these years as opposed to what you guys were doing? No.
It comes down, as you guys know, you got to have the right owners. We got good owners now. Yeah. They've been there for 15 years. They're from here in New Jersey.
Yep.
But you got to have the right coaches, and you got to have the right this and the right that. And we made a terrible mistake at Minnesota this year. That Sam Darnold was 14-3 last year.
Well, we saw him here when he was a Jet, and he was a little immature, and he needed to grow up. Went to Carolina, then went to San Francisco, and I think Kevin O'Connell got finally a finished product and made him into something.
And Kevin's a good coach.
Great coach. But, Sam played 2 bad games at the end.
Right.
That's right.
But they had also drafted a kid 10th overall the previous year that they believed in.
Yeah.
So it's like you
I know.
can't just throw
But
that away.
I'll go back.
Now, he
You
stinks,
have a
we know.
quarterback
Yeah.
with all the things. He was 14-3.
Yeah.
And then they drafted a guy in the 8th round at Michigan, which they didn't throw it a lot. They ran it a lot. And so he
Actually, 10th pick overall.
Yeah, yeah.
10th pick
10th
overall.
pick overall in the first round.
And
yep.
then, so he gets hurt and didn't play his first year. And then
That's where Sam comes on.
that's where
and plays great.
he comes on and gets his break and plays 14-3. And then they let him go, and he's playing great at Seattle.
Yep.
They had the guy who was here in New York. And
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. They had him for nothing.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And now he's done pretty good this year.
And they might try to go get him again. But they also did want to keep Daniel Jones. But Daniel Jones knew that it'd be easier to get the starting job in Indianapolis.
Yeah, but they did all that because they were going to.
Because they believed in a guy who's not any good. That's why.
But you get him out of. You never know out of college whether the guy can play quarterback or not. Most of them cannot.
But every quarterback that Kevin O'Connell touched to that point played really
Played well, and now this year,
no. Yeah.
guess what?
Yeah.
And the quarterback from Michigan is hurt again. He's been hurt all year.
Yeah, he's got
played a
concussion
couple
symptoms now.
So how
but-
do you play it? Now they got a backup quarterback from the University of Minnesota. Yesterday, they're lost, right?
Yeah.
Just lost.
CBS Sports Network. Do you have that pick six from Max Brosmer? I just want to see.
I wonder if
what
Fran used to
sees of
run
this.
around a lot.
Yeah,
I did that.
Yeah, I just.
Did you have? So you saw the interception.
I need to see.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you did?
Oh my! Here,
Oh, look,
watch
here
the
it
play
is,
right here, right
there.
there. Here we go. Ready? Look and yeah.
Boom.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
that's
was
not
right. Yeah.
I feel bad for Max. I mean, like he was pressed into service. He probably shouldn't have played. They had nobody else to play at this point. So we all have been there.
Yeah.
We all know what that's like.
All right, I want to ask this question.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a year when so many quarterbacks get hurt? Half the starters, I think, have been hurt. Now, when you played how many years? 12 years? 14 years? 14 years.
Yep.
How many games did you miss?
Probably about 7, I think.
I played.
You
4
played
years,
in 246 games.
and I missed. I missed 5 games. And we clinched the championship, but I broke my ankle playing the Cincinnati.
Of all things. Of all teams.
And so I couldn't play in the Super Bowl that year because of that. But I missed 5 games in 18 years. But I also played 4 years of college at the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah.
And in high school, we won a state championship at Athens. I never got hurt there. Today, the guy playing at Atlanta now, they drafted him in the first round.
Yeah, Michael Penix. Yeah, and he had injury history going through college
He's
and high school.
25 years old as a rookie.
Yep.
And he got hurt a lot, changed schools and so forth. So he comes to Atlanta, and he's been hurt the whole time.
Yeah.
And Kirk Cousins got hurt too as well.
Yeah.
God love him, man. He's still playing. And, he actually didn't play that poorly against the Jets this past weekend.
No, he really did. And I watched that game,
Yeah.
too. He didn't play. He didn't play that, but I was impressed with the Jets. I was impressed with the quarterback. I was impressed with the coach. Now, maybe I shouldn't be. But here's my go. I don't like the Falcons.
No.
Okay, well,
I don't like the Falcons.
No.
But I want the Vikings to win, and I want the Falcons to lose, and the Bulldogs to win.
There
that's
you go.
that's a perfect weekend.
Well, the 1998.
And Atlanta is, I think, going to not make the playoffs again.
Well, they're not going to make the playoffs. They may end up firing their coach again.
I think that's a very. They brought in a new coach. They brought in a new general manager from New Orleans, and now you're. Where are you? They're 4-8.
Yeah,
4-8.
Not good. And they have a lot of good players on that team.
And their division is not great. New
That's
Orleans
true.
hasn't won 2 or 3 games, and then Carolina beats them twice. And Carolina is playing better than they can play.
Yeah,
I
beat
mean,
the Rams.
who'd have thought that they could do it?
Not me. All right, so tell us what you're doing here with Pip IQ and AI. I mean, Fran Tarkenton and artificial intelligence.
Pip IQ, we started building that about a year ago. As you said, I'd made no money playing football. I had off-season jobs. I worked so I've started 20 businesses in my life. I'm an entrepreneur, more so than I'm a football player. And so AI is coming to the world. We work a lot with small business entrepreneurs. We've done that for 20 years. So we built our AI thing for them, and we can give it to them for a good price. They can't go pay billions of dollars on the video, but they need it, and it's a tool that will make them more successful, make them better, and all the stuff now that's going on with where do you put this and where do you put that, and how do you hide it here and hide it there, it's causing great stuff, and we can our product helps us manage that. We give that to our people, and it's done exceptionally well. And so here I am at 85 years old,
which is amazing.
And so, but I didn't build the product. We have really great people because we've used technology all of my career. I brought some technology to IBM back in 1978 when I just finished playing football, and we built a really good piece of technology back then that back then they were the whole.
IBM was it. Yeah,
they were it. There was nobody else but IBM, and we had a good run with IBM on technology. So we brought technology all these years to the small business entrepreneur and made sure the price was something they could afford and play, and we take care of them.
You know, it's amazing. A lot of you from your generation, your quarterbacks from your generation, have done a lot more stuff off the field. I think of Roger Staubach, how successful he was. Kenny Anderson, who I replaced in Cincinnati, how successful he was off the field. I mean, you guys didn't have to play football. You guys could have done a million other things. Because what was your first salary in 1961?
$12,500.
I mean, you know, it's
now
ridiculous.
It's a fine for wearing the wrong
socks. What's happening?
78, I'd broken every record there was running and throwing. And
this is 1978.
78. I played 18 years, and I'm done all that stuff, set all those records, and my salary was $180,000
for 14 games. 14-game season.
14 games back then. And so,
look at how handsome you were back in the day.
But I had a paper route in Washington, D.C. when I was 7 years old. And I have worked all my life. And I'll bet you you started playing sports when you could walk.
Yep.
And I started playing sports when I could walk. Tiger Woods started playing. I had a program that's incredible. Tiger Woods only 5 years old. He was hitting golf balls like crazy. And so you got to start business. You got to start young. Mm-hmm. I at 15 years old, I told my father I don't want any more money. I've got a paper route, and I got this, and I got that, and I'm going to pay my way. I'll have dinners here with you, but I'm going to have my own money.
That's old school.
And I did that, and I went to Georgia. I played football there and baseball there, and it was right in my hometown of Athens, Georgia. But I hated college for academics. I didn't have any interest in academics whatsoever. None. I just didn't. But I had interest in doing business, and so my businesses range from finance businesses and what we're doing there with the small business entrepreneurs, and we do it in the insurance business, and I own them all. You know why I own them all? I found over the years, I made more than I made in football, and I've done okay. And the shysters find you. The shysters find you. The people that just want to get your money and do it. And so...
you mean your family?
Huh?
No, I'm kidding.
No, your family should do that, I'm sure, but mine hasn't. Mine hasn't.
Just a joke.
But the other people come when you... So all my companies, I own the companies.
The basic thing about Pip IQ, as I understand it, it's a protective tool for small business.
Totally.
And with the amount of fraud and the amount of stealing that's going on in the small business space, this is going to help them. How do people find out about Pip IQ?
Well, you go to our website, Pip IQ.
PipIQ.com.
And go there, and it'll tell you what we do, how we do it. Here's another thing. I don't believe in selling. People say, "Oh, you're the greatest salesman ever." No, And I tell people with Pip IQ, I love it. Our people love it. It's doing well. But go look at it. Go to our website. If it makes sense to you, we'll help you. If it doesn't, don't feel bad. Just throw it away. I never have ever told people, go buy my products because I'm a football player or I'm a nice guy. Only if it makes sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, don't do it.
Now, with AI, there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah, it's just, it's changing. AI's changing the world.
Boomer gets fooled with a couple of these things from time to time.
I got fooled once.
Now there's another one recently. I didn't want to break your heart.
All right. Well.
With the Rottweiler throwing a Chihuahua into the pool, that was also a fake one. But you find yourself getting caught up, like going, like maybe your grandkids, like, is this a real thing or not? Because I mean, everybody's getting confused by videos being real or not.
Yeah, I like with our new product, I'm just amazed with it. I'm not a technology guy.
Yeah,
but I've had to learn technology, and what we can do with the AI with our product is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And here's the deal, and you know this. In football, we had to get better every day, right? We had to get better every day because they saw our films, and we saw their films, and business is no different. If I'm just with our product, it'll be better in 6 months than it is right now. It's got to be. In football, it's the same thing. We got to get better. We got to, and that's fun.
Can AI fix J.J. McCarthy?
I don't think so.
Fran Tarkenton with us, all-time great Hall of Famer. So happy that you joined us today, Fran. It was really our pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right.
Great to see you, Fran.
And check
Always
out.
Thank you, buddy.